Title makes sense. Ultimately.
Okay, straight ahead.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is, as a young woman, this is absolutely inspiring to see such a strong, powerful woman take this award and this honor. How do you feel as a female director in this theater world, taking this honor and showing that women are just as amazing as everyone else?
I mean, first of all, totally, honestly, genuinely in shock and overwhelmed, so that's real. And I think I never dared dream, partly because I was an unlikely candidate for such a thing. It's a very rare moment from what I've seen, and in terms of just straight up numbers. And I remember with great clarity in 1998, watching the Tony Awards. I think it was 98 when Julie Taymor and Gary Hines won, and I suddenly thought, wow, women can win? It makes it visible. And I think what is visible suddenly becomes possible. So I hope that this amazing thing that just happened helps encourage women all over, of every color and taste and style and viewpoint, to make theater, to tell stories that deeply matter to them. That's what we need more than that. To create empathy, actually the greatest percentage of our audience are women. So it's a strange thing that such an inequity exists. So, I would love to see those numbers shift. And this is a part of that, and that's even more of a beautiful thing than it already is. Great question. Thank you. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Spoke about your acceptance, creating art, being German, something that Benjamin deals with and Elise deals with. How is that an effort that you live to as the director of the theater as well?
Honestly, I don't know if you all feel this way, but I feel more and more every day since the election that actually we can relate to this in a very profound way. So I grew up Jewish, and I always thought that, I always judged Germany in the 30s as, these people that just sort of walked like sheep, they were sort of willing to buy into hatred, no problem. Then I married and found out they loved the German man, and learned, just much more about that point of view. And now I fear we might, hopefully not, be living something of similar, we could be. And if we fight over everything we've all got, then hopefully we won't be. But there's a surge of hatred and, tremendous resistance of immigrants. So I get immigration and just the valuing of a kind of rage over valuing of acceptance and love. So I think for me, I would answer that question by saying that really just doing Indecent right now has felt like it echoes these themes in the most profound way that I never, ever would have wished for, ever. Thank you.
On that note, this play takes on a remarkable timeliness with the post-cuts to the NEA. Can you talk a little bit about what it means to represent the show, about the importance of art now?
I mean, come on! Cutting the NEA? It's just so, I don't understand it. I just really genuinely, I don't understand how you can think that art's, well, I guess if you want to kill culture, if you actually want to decimate culture, that's one, a way to do it, and community, and dialogue, and empathy. So that's the danger embedded in cutting what is already a truly endangered body. The NEA, it's clear already. To cut it more just feels like it's such a sort of audacious and ridiculous move, and it says very loudly and clearly, we do not value the making of art. And an oppressive regime, that's exactly what they do, because art creates dialogue, and creates meaning, creates conversation. So that's dangerous if you are not interested in democracy. get so serious.
I just want to know, you held on to that MFA thesis. You wanted this made, and your persistence came out. Was it hard to turn over your baby to Paula, or did you just kind of?
So, great, thank you for the wonderful question. So 20 years ago, I worked on this version of Indecent that was at the time called The People versus the God of Vengeance, that interwove the play God of Vengeance, which Indecent is about, with the text of the obscenity trial. So when God of Vengeance opened in the 20s in New York, everybody was tossed in jail for obscenity. And it's the story of these two women falling madly in love in a very violent world. By the time I called Paula, which was a full decade later, I was so ready to give over. And I remember Paula, the first thing Paula said to me was, you know, when I had barely gotten the question out on the phone, she said, yes, and it's a bigger story than about that moment in New York. Is that okay? And I said, anything you want. What mattered to me most was to caretake this very, very important memory that I feared was going to be lost. And I had spent 3 years with all the original papers and documents from this moment in time, and you know, it had become a total obsession. And I felt that somehow I had to find a way to tell their story that would do their story justice. Paula Vogel was the perfect person. I just couldn't believe she said yes. From then on, I followed her every move.